Ladies and gentlemen, 10 officers were arrested and charged with violating the civil rights of citizens. And you know what citizens they are talking about. The only ones they are openly abusing since the inception of policing. So they have been arrested and charged today, and there's an ongoing investigation with the FBI. So the Antioch PD, these were three officers, and the other officers are from Pittsburgh. The U.S. Attorney's Office of the Northern District of California announced in a news conference Thursday. So Morteza Amiri and Eric Bombard and Devin Wenger were charged with conspiracy against rights and deprivation of rights under the color of law. Amiri also faces additional charges of falsification of records, according to a grand jury indictment filed Wednesday. I mean, these cops were just out on the streets doing despicable things. The indictment accused the men of repeatedly using excessive force, particularly through dog bites. Now, they are notorious for putting the canines on, especially black men. And if you don't know the history of the canine unit, you should really look it up. The canine unit was put together exclusively to put the dogs on black people. It was only for that reason only and no other reason. And don't let these people tell you some falsified history. Oh no, they put them together for this. No, they were the same people you seen them chasing down with dogs during chattel slavery, and the same ones you saw put dogs on during the civil rights protests that were going on are the same ones they put the canines on today. Nothing has changed. Nothing. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to turn your stomach, but hey, the story must be done. So, not only did they use the dogs to inflict pain on people, the indictment accused the men of repeatedly using excessive force. Another occasion, they were using a 40 millimeter less lethal launcher and were hitting people in the chest with those, taking pictures and videos of people that were inflicted with dog bites and other injuries just to brag about on social media and and send to other officers. The officers didn't try to stop, or so there were other officers on the scene, as always. And when the excessive force was going on and they were using these dogs to bite up people, they just stood around and didn't do anything. Not only did they not try to stop it, they didn't report it either. All they did was try to conceal their actions by writing false statements in police reports. So now you know why the abuse go on for so long, because if you don't say anything when abuse or even straight up murder is going on and you are another cop that's present, then you're not a good cop. Stop running out here and insulting our intelligence trying to say somebody's a good cop when they're not good cops at all. A silent cop is not a good cop. So, as a further part of the scheme, defendants deployed uses of force as punishment to subjects beyond any punishment appropriately imposed by the criminal justice system, and or made repeated references to or suggestions of violating civil rights, including the communications identified in the indictment. During the arrest, there was one arrest that took place in December 19th, 2019. Amiri took pictures of dog bites on someone they arrested in text. I'm going to take more gory pictures. Gory pics are for personal stuff. Cleaned up pics for the case, the indictment says. Moving on. The next day, they arrested another suspect. Amiri bragged about an unarmed officer about dog bites inflicted on someone being arrested, saying even if the arrested person didn't stay in jail, at least he was punished. These people are rotten. They are rotten. And this is why they will never, ever, ever be good leaders, because everybody sees this happening, from the politicians to the citizens, and nothing is ever done. Nothing's been done about it for centuries now. So I don't want to hear anything about some good people and, oh, they're not all that bad. And I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You can write it and say it all you want. I don't want to hear it, nor am I going to believe you. Just letting you know. I feel like this is the real punishment compared to the soft DA, Mary wrote in a text messages shared in the indictment. Several of other examples in the indictment shows pictures and videos Amiri sent to individual officers and people in a chat group. So he thought showing people all bit up by canine unit dogs was funny, was fun. Wow. So the indictment said that Ramba had a history of using a 40 millimeter less lethal launcher to point, Amari said in a text message, and an unidentified officer that Ramba be doing some unnecessary ass. So he said 40s, referencing the launcher. When an unnamed officer texted Ramba in November of 2020 asking what the officers were up to, he responded, violating civil rights, the indictment says. So they knew they were violating people's civil rights and they were laughing about it. But you know what? This is America's fault. This is an America problem because you let these cops run amok for centuries out here. Now they think they're untouchable, and you have put them at a god status in this country. No other country does that. Just this stupid idiot country. One incident was shared in an indictment where Wenger responded to reports of a stolen vehicle and struck the suspect with a 40 millimeter less lethal launcher in the chest while the suspect had their hands up, the indictment said. In addition to the uses of force, the indictment also shares a conversation where Ramba and Amiri reference to people as gorillas, as well as other messages between officers where they threaten to hurt people, the indictment shows. The indictment against the three officers was one of four indictments filed Wednesday against former and current officers in the Antioch Police Department and the neighboring Pittsburgh Police Department. In addition to civil rights charges, Wenger is accused of conspiracy to distribute and possession of steroids, anabolic steroids, in a second grand jury indictment. I mean, they were just doing the most. Amiri is also one of six officers accused of defrauding the police department they worked for by getting others to complete college credits on the behalf. Oh, so they had other people take their college courses for them. This is what's in a third indictment. So these officers, wow. Another Antioch Police Department officer was charged in a fourth indictment involving alleged interference with a wiretap investigation and illegal seizure and destruction of a telephone. All right, so they did try to reach out to these officers for comment. It was not immediately clear who their attorneys are. Amiri was removed from the K9 unit in early 2022. But you know what? Can you imagine how many citizens have been bit up by those dogs because of him? Ramba, he resigned from the gang unit and SWAT unit. Gang, y'all had a unit called gang unit? Well, we know you're a gang. Mm-mm-mm. The indictment does not say if Wenger resigned from his role. In a statement release on Antioch PD's Facebook page, acting chief of police Joe Vigil, he said that the arrest of the Antioch officers is disheartening and undermines the incredible work our staff does on a daily basis. I might need to get you to explain what incredible work is. Okay, because that's certainly debatable. Any officer who breaks public trust must be held accountable, especially because of our effectiveness relies heavily on confidence and support from our community, the statement says. No individual, including a police officer, is above the law. Mm, mm, mm. Wow. But you know what, y'all? There's other police departments out here functioning in this same manner. This is just one that they are coming public to talk about, but there are many, many more, and we all know it. Please tell me what you think about this story. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.